So I'm doing yet another review on one of my favourite gadgets, smart glasses, which according to Mark Zuckerberg will be replacing smartphones anytime soon. We'll see. But they are evolving, and if you're interested in smart glasses, I've done a comparison with the various ones that I've seen or used or got. So for example, these are the X-Reals, they're AR glasses. Again, if you want to know more about them, check out my other videos. These peculiar looking things, that is a charger by the way, it doesn't go on your nose. They're the frames by Brilliant Lamps. They've got a little screen on them, kind of useful, not so useful in a lot of ways, and a bit disappointing with them so far. These up until recently, and these are the real contenders out there, these are the ones that you've really got to beat. They're the Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses. I said recently, until recently, because whilst some of the AI functions of these things aren't officially available in the UK, you were able to get around it using a thing called a VPN, but that's been taken away. So these have lost a lot of functionality that we got by cheating effectively, so I can't complain. But they're stylish, trendy, and they're very good. I just wish that those features would be there, which is why I decided to buy what I'm reviewing now, which is these. These are the Airgo, the Solos Airgos 3V. So these are, they released them literally last week, and so these are brand new to me. I only got them yesterday. I've done a few tests on it, but like a lot of my reviews, I'm doing this is what I think after a few hours, and I'll do an in-depth review in due course. First things first, some people have said these look ugly, stupid, whatever. They certainly look more conspicuous because if you can see, you've got two cameras there. So it's pretty obvious to anyone looking at you that those are smart glasses. By comparison, it's not quite so obvious with the Ray-Bans. So looking at them next to each other, I don't think there's a lot of difference, if I'm honest, but Ray-Bans are traditionally very fashionable. So why did I get them? Well, main thing for me was that I used, when I was able to, the look and tell. So you could basically look at a dog, for example, with the Ray-Bans and say, tell me the breed of the dog. Look at a historic building, a landmark. It had location services. So, for example, I went to a place called Folkestone in the UK, and it knew I was there. It could pick out landmarks. It could tell me things about it. That all disappeared, as I say. So, the main advantage for me, and the reason I got these, they're about the same sort of price as the Ray-Bans, by the way, was for that functionality. When I posted the specs of these on various sites, one of the things I did mention, because it's a very, very important thing for a lot of people, these have cameras. They're not very good as far as I can tell either. I'll post some pictures taken on all of these devices, so that the Ray-Bans compared to the phone, doesn't do video recording. So if that's why you've got them, and let's be honest, these, even without the full AI, still can do some good video. It's only 3 minutes long, but it's good quality. And if you're out there, traveling around or whatever, that's one of the main things that I got the Ray-Bans for. So this is not a replacement for the Ray-Ban, in my opinion. It's just something else. If you happen to be lucky enough to have a pair of these, that's great, but I wouldn't go and buy these as opposed to the Ray-Ban Meta, even with that limitation. What they do have is different versions of the AI. So these are based on ChatGPT. They also have Gemini and one or two other, I think. But the basic concept is these are much more for those people that want to use that sort of look and tell me function, or do various bits. These are also modular, so I won't do it, but this thing, the arm, can unplug. If it unplugs, then it's got a USB-C charger. So with the Ray-Bans, they have a bespoke charging cable, and you have a case for it. You don't get a charging case with this. You do get a rather nice little Solos case, which if I can do it, because I haven't done this all properly, it opens up, folds out, gives you a nice little case, and they provide the cleaning cloth with it as well. They also have a bespoke charging cable, this thing, and it's got a weird and wonderful bit on the end. I'm not sure you can see that, which actually connects to, again, I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it, but there's a little connector there, and you can connect it that way, which is what I am doing, to be honest. But the fact that it's got USB-C on it is good. I guess because it doesn't have video capabilities, you do get a lot more battery life. So with the Ray-Bans, normally you're going to get between 4-6 hours. There are things you can do to increase that, but generally speaking, it's about 4 hours, 5 hours. These claim 10 hours-ish or more in normal use. Like the Ray-Bans, you can get these with prescription lenses and other ones. The other nice thing is, because this is modular, you can actually change the front. So you can have different styles, different frames, prescription lenses if you want, as I say. You can even have them without the camera. So one or two of the issues with the Ray-Ban, and that's possibly why we haven't got all those features, is privacy, because obviously they do have a camera, it does do video and capture pictures. So potentially you could have this with all those AI functionality. It's cheaper, I think about £100 cheaper, if you don't want the cameras. And as I say, at the moment, I don't think the camera's worth it. I'm really not impressed with the quality. They're both, I mean, this is 12 megapixel, I believe. I think that the Ray-Bans are similar, 12, 13, whatever. The picture quality is really bad. Maybe it's just me, but we will see. I will post those. They, like all glasses, smart glasses, they're not smart. The app that comes with it is the smart bit. This one obviously uses the Solos app. It has got some nice features. So apart from the look and tell, it's also got interpreting. So there's 25 plus languages that are built in. But anyway, enough of the waffle. Are they any good? Well, I've only had them a few hours, but if I'm perfectly honest, they're okay. I don't particularly like the app, not that you can see it, but like the Ray-Bans have a little thing on the side that you can slide, so that's for your volume on the Ray-Bans. This has got what they call a virtual button, and it really is a bugger to find at times. Also, like you have to, I mean, you can configure the touchpad. I suppose the app does give you that option, but you have to hold it for a couple of seconds to turn it on. There are some nice things. So, for example, you can ask the glasses to turn themselves off, whereas with the Ray-Bans, you have to close the thing and put them away. But anyway, are they any good? Yeah, they're okay. I don't find them that untrendy, for want of a better word. The sound, I have to say, is much louder than the Ray-Bans, at least from my perception. And they have a graphic equalizer on the app, so a hearing section that will actually apparently work out the best sort of ambient sound frequency, whatever, for those people with hearing issues, or we all got slightly different hearing, haven't we? So that's quite a good feature. Basically, if you find it, you have to hold that in. You might have just heard that, and that's how you turn them on. And then, like all of them, they connect up through an app, which is this one. It says it's not connecting, so you have to sort of make certain that you hold it in for a few seconds, and then it's power high, connected. And that's the app there, so that's what it does.
You have a messages Google message from device pairing. Your messages are available on the device that you've paired. You have a messenger message from Hover Air X1 Pro Launch Group. Hover Air X1 Pro Launch Group. Mike Chin. Anyone have video in
Stop.
mode?
So, as you may or may not have heard, it can read your questions. Also, you have to hold the button in to ask a question, and then it puts it up here. So there's an option basically where you hold it and then you tap when you've finished. And as you can hear, I'm finding it a little confusing because I'm so used to the Ray-Ban Metas. But basically, you can either hold it, talk, and then tap it to say that you finished talking, or as I've done, I've enabled it. Yeah. As you can possibly tell, they're a little irritating because I've enabled the the option to basically listen to me and work out when I finish talking. It then listens to you and tells you all sorts of rubbish that you don't want to hear. But the sound is very loud. I'll post some features, some comparisons between these and the Ray-Ban Metas. Like I always do with these reviews, they're honest. I always try to do them in one take, so if you think I'm making a bit of a hash of this, probably have. But I think it's better just to get my thoughts out before I start trying to change them to make them slightly different. So, conclusion, are they any good? They're all right. Would I use these instead of the Ray-Bans? Probably not, I suspect. And if I'm honest, if the Ray-Ban get the AI features back again, I might not use these at all. But we will see. At the moment, I'm still learning, and the app's still driving me mad. And the voice, by the way, is irritating. I mean, I've got Dame Judi Dench on the Meta talking to me, much nicer. All that said, the AI is much more flexible. I love the ability to say look and tell me, which it does very well. And like the Metas, when it was enabled, you can say things like look and tell me in a frivolous way, or tell me a funny way of saying this. So enough of the waffle. I don't mind them. I think, if I'm honest, I'm slightly disappointed with them at the moment. But as I say, these were only released last week, so I've got to give them time. I will do a proper review. I'll post some specs and some screenshots, but there we are. So that versus that, they're the Solos. You choose. If you've got those, honestly, don't bother with those. But if you don't, it's another option. There you go. Smart glasses in a nutshell. Solos, Airgo Vs. Have a look, check the specs out and decide for yourself. Bye for now.
It's got is the ability to link to, I think it's Strava, which is good. As you can see, I've done 1 meter, so really helps. Okay, so the pairing of the Solos app was quite painless. Set up an account and now you go through the little tutorial. So it tells you what you can do. The app looks decent. I'm not saying that the app on the Meta doesn't look that bad, but this looks okay. I like the little tutorials. Not so responsive with the little touchpad thing. I had a problem getting the button in the right place, but I guess that's because it's new and I'm not used to it yet. Okay, so this is the tutorial bit. And we're all set. So that only took a few minutes.